Hello, and welcome to our ab series. Today, let's go ahead and get situated, and we are going to find ourselves into a tabletop position. We're going to stack those shoulders with those wrists and the knees with the hips, and we're going to find a couple cat-cow breaths before we go into our plank. Yes, we're going to go right into our plank today for 30 seconds, low hold, and then we'll come up to a 1 minute high plank with a little bit of movement in there. So in just a moment, we'll go ahead and take our final breath and we'll drop down to those forearms and step those feet back so we can find that low hold plank. We're here for 30 seconds. Here we go. And then at the end of this 30-second low hold plank, we'll come up to a high plank for those in and out toe taps. Now, in this 30 seconds, just take the time to really focus on your breath, focus on your body, focus on how much tension might be sitting in your jaw and try to unclench your jaw. Make sure your neck isn't crammed all up in your shoulders. Let's come up to that high plank and we're going to tap those feet alternating in and out to the outside of the mat. If you're feeling special today, you can go for some plank jacks, but I'm going to keep it consistent with those in and out toe taps. And at the end of this 30-second toe tap, we are going to spread those feet wide and plant them. This will give you some more stability. And we're going to go into alternating shoulder taps. So you'll bring your right hand across your body to touch your left shoulder and your left hand across your body to touch your right shoulder. And we're going back and forth, and try to do your best to keep your body as still as possible. There's inevitably going to be some movement occurring here, but trying to kind of stay planted and coming up from that hand, touching, and then right back down in a controlled pace. And once again, don't forget to keep breathing. Let's take a big breath in and out. And at the end of this movement, we'll drop to those knees. Here we go. We're going to come down to a child's pose, and we'll find a couple other stretches before we go into our next set of exercises. So for our next set of exercises, we're going to be on our backs. So whenever you are done with your stretches, you're going to meet me there, and we're going to have our feet into a tabletop position. And we'll go through a little demo of what this movement is going to look like. It's going to be 1 minute and 40 seconds of consecutive movement. So we'll start with our legs in tabletop, really plant that spine down with that tiny little, no space. We want to really plant that thing down. JK. Anywho. And then we'll do in and outs, and then we'll stick one leg up. We'll come across the body for a crunch, go back to in and outs, stick the other leg up for the crunch, and then we will go back to those in and outs to finish it out. And at this time, as for the spine, just make sure that if you feel like your body's coming out, that you change your range of motion. Don't stick out harder than you should. But we're going into those in and outs now. Here we go. We are here for 20 seconds. And if you would like to bring your hands to the sky, feel free. That can give you a little bit more core engagement, or you can bring them behind your head. Just don't tug on your head too much. And make sure that you are not getting those shoulders in that neck. Here we go. We're going to extend the right leg and come across for that crunch. We're crunching to the left side. We're here for 20 seconds. And you don't have to be super fast, but just make sure that you are consecutively moving. Stay in motion and try to put some momentum into that crunch. Get it up across the body. And in just a second, here we go. We're back to those in and outs for 20 seconds. And at the end of this 20 seconds, we'll extend the other leg. If whichever leg you did, there's no right or wrong answer. Just make sure you do the other one so you can get that opposing crunch. So in just a moment, we will extend that other leg up into the air, and we'll bring those hands behind the head for that little pillow, and we're crunching across the body. I am bringing my left elbow to my right knee, and we are crunching, crunching, crunching. We're here for about 10 more seconds. And at the end of this, we'll go back to those in and outs for 20 more seconds, and we will be done for a moment, just for a little rest. Here we go. Back to those in and outs. Hands up. Let's finish strong, or head down and finishing with strong integrity. You know, integrity is sometimes more important than doing the most. And that's what's important to remember. So we're almost done with those in and outs. And whenever we get to the end of those, we'll bring those knees to the chest for a little break or drop them to the floor, whatever you choose. And then we are going to extend our feet into the air. And we're going to go for a toe reach for 30 seconds. And at the end of the toe reach, we'll go into, you can either keep the legs extended and you can just stick your hands behind your head and go for a little mini crunch, or you can do what I'm doing here where you put them in tabletop and crunch into the tabletop. That's what I'm going to do. It sometimes just, I feel like the crunch is a lot more like concentrated and controlled when you do it like that with the legs bent. So that's what I'm going for today. I'm trying to make sure I have a good tune so that way I can, stay locked into this. You see the head motions going. She's getting into it. Here we go. We're sticking those feet to the ceiling and we're reaching. We're reaching for 30 seconds and you'll probably feel yourself, going through the bones of the back, and just get up there as much as you can. If it is like a little bit much on the spine, just kind of slow down, I would say, and don't, try to roll into your vertebrae too hard. But anywho, at the end of this 30 seconds, we are not going to take a break. We're going to go straight into that crunch. So if you're going to stay with your feet up, you'll just bring your hands behind your head. Here we go. But if you're with me, we're going to drop them down, bend those legs to a tabletop, and we're just crunching in. And I like to really make sure that I'm feeling this in the upper portion of my abs. This is very, very concentrated top crunch. It works. I mean, it's going to work your whole body, but you'll really feel it in the upper portion of your abs if you get that nice controlled crunch going in. We are almost at the end of this. Here we go. Let's drop those feet, take a little breath, and then we have our planking. And we will finish this workout with our planks. We have a 30-second low plank, followed by you guessed it, 1 minute high plank with some movement. So I'm going to take a little forward fold to catch my breath before I go into this one more time. The planks are they're so meditative. I don't know how to explain it. It's like, even though I don't want to do it at times, it's like, I do love the planks. Like I feel so accomplished after doing like a nice lengthy plank. Anywho, in just a moment, here we go. We are flipping over. We're going to find ourselves in that plank position. And you're more than welcome to do a high plank the whole time, but that's just a lot on the wrists. So we're going to come down to those forearms. And I do believe I was taking a little bit of a stretch before I went into this. Yes, we took a little cat-cow moment. If you would like to pull up into that cat and then breathe out into that cow with me real quick, feel free to do so. This was a good time. I remember really enjoying this moment with myself. Anywho, let's drop down to those forearms and stick those feet back, and we're going to come down to that low hold plank for 30 seconds. Here we go. And sometimes, if you really are getting into it, you can just kind of start doing the most, and you're definitely going to start burning more energy. And that's why I call it doing the most, because sometimes I like to start sawing my body back and forth. I think it passes time. I hit a little hip dip side to side, but always make sure this is controlled. Always make sure it's controlled. Anywho, also keep breathing up to that high plank, and we're going to tap those feet in and out and in and out, alternating. And once again, if you're feeling special, if you're feeling spicy, go on ahead and go for the plank jack. I applaud you. If you could clap your hand at the same time, that would be absolutely incredible. You won't see me doing such an act. But anywho, in just a moment, we're going to plant those feet nice and wide, and then we're going to do alternating shoulder taps. So we'll bring the right hand across to touch the left shoulder and the left hand across to touch the right shoulder. Here we go. We are here for 30 seconds. Let's finish strong. Let's finish proud. Let's just do the most. I know I said sometimes we don't need to do the most, but we have 15 seconds left. Let's do the most just for 15 more seconds. You can do anything for 10 seconds. Yeah. I mean, think about it. Now we're probably almost at 5. You could do anything. I really do believe in you. We're almost done. And then you can just imagine whatever stretch it is that you want to do, and we'll go right into that. Here we go. Find that down dog if you're with me. And in just a second, we'll come up to that up dog and back to a child's pose to finish this off. I hope you enjoyed this workout. I really enjoy this little workout that I have been doing. I do it pretty much every day. So if you would like to stick with me, come back and do it with me. Sometimes I do the exact same workout, but I wear different clothes and I'm in a different mood, so you just never know what you're going to get. So anywho, come back for more. Like this video if you like this video, and subscribe so that way you can come back and hang out with me more often. I would love that. You would love it. You know you would. Anywho, have a great day. I'm going to go play some pickleball, and I hope you also have a great day, whether or not you play pickleball. Anywho, bye.